Hi, I'm Clark Brenzel. I'm the weed control specialist with the Saskatchewan Ministry of Agriculture. And behind me, we're looking at our herbicide matrix at our crop diagnostic school in 2022. And essentially, a herbicide matrix is just simply herbicide sprayed in one direction and then crops seeded across those herbicide treatments in the 90 degrees to those treatments, so that we get a patchwork of different symptomology showing up throughout the plots. Okay, so what we've got in these plots here is for crops is oats, then followed by wheat. Then we have a walkway that's been mowed down. Then we have canola, peas, another walkway, lentils, and then we have soybeans in the back. And the soybeans were both glyphosate and dicamba tolerant. And the whole idea of that was to try and get symptomology of this diflufenzaper active ingredient showing up. Because it's never marketed on its own, it's only marketed in combination with dicamba. We had dicamba tolerant soybeans in order to allow those group 19 symptoms to be expressed in the soybeans. Unfortunately, deer really like to eat soybeans, so we have very small soybeans at the back there. But what we can see from this strip that was put on a week ago is that we're seeing some pretty significant suppression in the cereal grains, which this product would typically be either used in range and pasture. It would be used as a fallow product, or it would be also used in corn, right in a corn crop for weed control. So as we go back through the plot, we can see that the grasses have been injured by the herbicide. And how we know that is that we've got an area on this side here that hasn't been sprayed with any herbicide, and we have those periodically through this matrix so that people have a reference point to know what looks normal and what doesn't look normal. Then if we go back through the plots, we can see that the canola is shortened and cupped and curled. So that's the group 4 symptoms showing up in this combination product. The peas are similar. The stems are curling. They're starting to wilt over, and so they're showing up those symptoms as well. And then you can see the lentils have turned completely yellow in the back of the plot. Okay, so what we can see with this product here is when we isolate the group 19 from the group 4 product in these dicamba tolerant soybeans, we're just seeing the expression of the group 19, and the group 19 is an auxin transport inhibitor, so it prevents natural and synthetic auxins from moving through the plant, and it allows them to build up in the growing points. And so what we end up with as a symptom that we can see on this little plant down here that hasn't really been eaten too much is that we get a whole bunching of growth accumulating at the nodes of the stem. And as this plant grows, you'll see a piece of stem come up, and then at the nodes again, you'll see a little bunching of growth at that node as well. So essentially, it's preventing things from moving through the plant that should be moving through the plant, and it also acts as a synergist for the dicamba in other more sensitive things to dicamba, and it essentially allows twice the activity for the dicamba that you apply. So with our group 3 treatment, which is represented by ethylfluralin here, the plant in my left hand here is exposed to the trifluralin, or the ethylfluralin, as it came up through the soil. And the plant on my right had no treatment. And you can see the plant on the right has nice white healthy roots that are nice and fine. And we've, we'll shake some of the water off. So we can see that they're kind of spreading out. They're nice and fibrous, and they're picking up, they're able to pick up nutrients and water from the soil quite easily. Whereas this plant here has very stubby roots. We don't have as many fine root hairs that are able to pick up nutrients from the soil. And so we can see all these very stubby looking secondary roots that are trying to be produced, but they're not being produced very successfully. So this is an example of group 3 injury, and something that we've been fairly successful at producing in this plot here this year. So there's nothing like coming out to our diagnostic school in person to see the symptoms for yourself. You can always wait and see symptoms in photograph, but you can't see the range of symptoms in a photograph, whereas in these live plots you can see a whole range of symptoms from very subtle to very extensive.